Hello, fellow democracy-loving patriots. It's finally time to create the Automaton only stratagem tier list. A bit later in the party, as of course we have utterly decimated the Automaton forces and they will never ever ever return again. But just humor me and let's get on with it. Let's see, first of all, immediately, EMS Mortar. I think it is absolutely amazing. The only reason why I don't put it in the best is that it's a hard sell when you're playing solo, but once you have duos and especially three or more, the thing just makes everything so much easier to handle. It is so good. Nothing more to say. This is still, unfortunately, just as against the Terminates, completely outclassed by I like this order. It's very easy for me. Completely outclassed still by our very powerful, very good. I'm still debating. It might be strong, but let's put it on good first. Autocannon Sentry. It just does everything that the rocket turret does, but better. The rocket sentry is supposed to aim for tougher enemies or larger enemies or however it is stated, but I just don't see it. Usually I see a charger pass by while the rocket turret is busy shooting at hunters, So at least with the autocannon, it just destroys whatever it sees. Really like it. This is the ballistic shield, not the supply pack. We will not make this mistake again. The ballistic shield, it has been recently buffed, and I haven't tested it since the buff. It was not good. It was very bad before the update, because you were just so exposed all the time. You had the bug to deal with. So for now, I'll just put it in fun and niche, but it might actually be good. I've seen some nice clips of people surviving serious onslaught, serious bot onslaught with the shield. So this is a bit of an uneducated opinion since the new changes. I haven't used it, but I'm gonna put it in fun and niche. Unfortunately, maybe it's better, but we'll put it in there for now. Mortar, I think it is again good, solid, not as good as the EMS though, in my opinion. This one, of course, outclassed by the Gatling, which is I don't find it as good. It doesn't penetrate the armor of the majority of enemies. So, honestly, I guess it's just outclassed as well by anything that can actually deal with the armored opponents. This one is quite good against Terminates, but on bots right now, to me at least, it's just a hazard. You get too many ricochet bullets. Personal shield. It's so the shield backpack. I find myself using it less and less against Automaton. I prefer it actually against Terminates. I used to think that it would be better against the Automaton because there's always something shooting at you from so many distances, especially on these clear maps where there's a lot of open fields. So it's still good, but I don't think it's as powerful against automatons than Terminates. But I can see it go both ways. It still allows you to play more dangerously. So maybe it's still strong. Hmm. I'm gonna put it on strong because I feel like putting it on good would still undersell it. But I think it is less strong against automaton personally. The new weapon, the Quasar, the big boom laser. Very good, very strong. It can one shot dropships. If you shoot a thruster, it can one shot every enemy in the game outside of tanks. I think, but it is horribly inconsistent. Sometimes even shooting at the weak spot of a Hulk won't kill it. Sometimes you need to even shoot 3 times because somehow it didn't exactly hit on the spot, and it's very hard to aim. It's very slow. If you miss, you're in trouble. Uh, I think this might actually be better in tournament missions, where you can one-shot the Hulks, not the Hulks, the Bile Titans and the Chargers. But it can still do everything. So I'm gonna put it in strong. I might actually debate on putting it in good. I feel like it's a bit overrated right now on the internet. I think this weapon is good. The increased stagger since the recent patch makes it actually better against automatons than it was before, in my opinion. Um, but I'd rather see other things picked. But it can be nice. I definitely, actually, is it this nice? Yeah, I think it's still good. Yeah, yeah. Let's put it there. Wait, no, this is, dude. Why do I keep making this? This is the rover. I cannot. This is the shield, so that was niche. So this is the rover. I think once again it is still, even though now it reloads, it's still outclassed by the laser rover, which I also think is pretty weak. This is pretty weak against automaton. Can help you a little bit, but I guess if you really want to use it, you can use it here. I don't think highly of the guard dogs. I prefer them against terminates personally. Is this controversial? I like mines against terminates, but I am not convinced about mines against automaton. So please, if there's anyone here that's like a mine connoisseur against the automaton, let me know if I am completely talking out my ass here. I'd love to be wrong here. Laser cannon? Actually, hmm, I think it's really strong. Honestly, I think it's more consistent than the quasar. So the problem is you have to actually hit it for a longer time. So in solo, it immediately becomes a harder sell, as you will need to stand still and shoot at a weak target, which is really hard to do when you're playing solo. But once you are in once again duos, trios, you can this thing can just annihilate all the difficult targets while other people can fixate on other stuff. So these are difficult. Oh man. Honestly, I'm gonna just put it on strong. Man, this is hard. This is hard. This is harder than I expected. Once again, uh, also good. It's strong, dude. All of these weapons are so much different compared to Terminates, right? Against Terminates, the grenade launcher is so good, but it's also pretty good. I think it's good. I don't think it's. Yeah, this makes more sense. It's still good. You can easily kill the majority of the chaff units. You can also the scout striders. You can very easily kill them. It deals well with devastators, but it does struggle, in my opinion, against hulks, against tanks. Uh, it does destroy factories, which is very nice. Which this doesn't. Maybe this. Keep it like this. This is hard. This is hard. These are all and all looking like this. Does the arc thrower fit here in this group? Against Terminates, even after the nerf, maybe. I'm gonna keep it like this. Supply backpack. Same reasoning as before. I think as long as the supply stratagem itself is cheap, I mean free, infinite, and has a short cooldown, it's hard to justify bringing a supply backpack. But there's some fun builds you can do with it. The like I said before, the supply backpack plus grenade launcher. It's very nice. Supply backpack with a flamethrower, but I don't think flamethrower is really gonna cut it against the automaton. So yeah, it's niche. It does its own thing. If it's outclassed, it's literally outclassed by the supply stratagem. So there is, I can see a reasoning for it being outclassed, but I'll put it in here just to be nice. But yeah, it might actually be just outclassed by the basic stratagem, supply stratagem. Uh, this makes. I've tried so much. I've tried last few days so many attempts in trying to make Tesla Coil work because it would make sense, right? These are metallic robots. It would be very nice if they could be very powerful, but it just gets destroyed from range immediately. Every time I deployed it, tried to deploy it in the middle of a group, didn't matter. It's not great. It's not great. It's cool though, but I think it's still outclassed by having a mortar. Either mortar will do much more crowd control, especially EMS mortar, than whatever this ever attempts to do against the automaton. Now, now it gets very interesting. The shield emplacement I find very strong. In solo, hard to justify. Once again, does it really do enough to justify bringing it in solo? Probably not. But once again, from duos and above, having this, which is an extremely short cooldown, gives you a lot of breathing room against overwhelming opponents. It's a very nice, for example, to run. What I've been experimenting with is everyone goes heavy armor, right? I just try to use something else than the scout light armor with scout passive. So I've been experimenting a lot with heavy armor against automatons, especially with the flat 10% damage reduction. And if you're running in teams, having someone that has stun grenades, this shield emplacement, this EMS thing, and then maybe, for example, an autocannon, or Khazar, or anything else that can deal with heavily armored opponents, and then have the rest of your team have every other thing. It gives you such a powerful options. You can really help out people, especially if you do a highly aggressive run, right? You don't want to stealth. This becomes so good because you can just throw it out constantly. Very powerful. It completely nullifies all damage, right? So tanks can't get to you. Only thing is a melee, like the berserkers and the blade wielding troopers. I forgot their name. They can get in. But yeah, it's so nice. You're getting flanked by a group. Maybe there's multiple groups coming in. You just throw that down. Throw a sentry in there. Now you're fully protected. Everything's getting crowd controlled. It is actually really, really nice. And placement, it's fun. It's niche. The slow turn rate makes it quite hard to deal with. Also, it doesn't shoot on its own, but it is actually quite strong when you get to use it. But I think actually, mm, yeah, I'm gonna put it here. It's both like it's good when it works, but there's not a lot of situations where you can. I guess once again, maybe I haven't tried that pairing yet. Having the shield and then this, that might be something to figure out. But still, that would be like a fun build, I think, than actually a strong build. I'm gonna do this. I know this might look wrong, but I actually prefer this over the backpack. Real shit. Smoke is alright. Uh, they're pretty handy to have. Terminists will keep shooting in either direction where you were previously or random, so it's quite good to reposition and flank them from another side while they can't catch you. Um, yeah, I think these three, they are definitely... Are they though? I'm gonna put them in Fundish. They're good. Like I said, there are situations where you can use them to flank, but will it help you more than just being able to kill them faster than they kill you? Because, for example, that's why I like this. You can still stay there. If you have a good position, you don't have to go away. You can just reinforce it, right? This forces you still to move, reposition, as they will shoot at you if you do not move after throwing smoke. This actually feels very bad against bots. That's all I'm gonna say. Like I am not impressed by this against the Automaton. This is it's good. Once again, you can kill something with it very precisely, but well, actually, no, it's outclassed. Because Terminates, at least you can use it to one shot the Bile Titans quite consistently. That's not really a thing with the Automaton, I feel. $500 kilo bomb, I think, is good against Automaton, but much worse than it is against Terminates. Main reason, in Terminates, I use it as one of my dedicated ways to deal with Bile Titans on all group sizes. Here it is not so good against Hulks, as Hulks are much faster. There's other ways to deal with Hulks, easier ways to deal with Hulks, like the cannon, for example, or the laser here. Also, another weapon that we will talk about soon-ish, maybe. Where is it? Takes a while. Anyways, there's a lot of weapons that can deal with Hulks more efficiently than the 500 kilogram bomb does. But it's still the 500 kilogram bomb, so it will kill things, especially like on eradicate missions. Or you see a tank that's somewhere, you can probably kill it with that. But it's not as good. It's not as good as against Terminates. It loses that special option against a strong foe, I feel. These guys actually quite good, in my opinion. Hmm. Actually, hold up. You know, I think if you want to take 500 kilos to bots, it's probably more a fun thing, right? It's nice to have against bunkers. Maybe there's a few other missions, but the more I think about it, like it doesn't kill factories as efficiently as like an Eagle airstrike would. This at least aims at tanks. It aims at hulks. If you're lucky, it'll shoot a backpack. It'll destroy it that way. Yeah, I think that makes more sense. Like this is good. It can help you deal with cannons. The cannon tower specifically. Yeah. Jump back, I think, is absolutely superb against Automaton. There is so many missions. I've tried it so many times and it just works. It's so handy too. Especially you have quite a few impactful side objectives. The jammer for one, detector tower, SAM sites, you know, and it's very easy this way to infiltrate them very quickly without needing to deal with a lot of enemies. You can just find a wall spot, you jump over it, jump on there, and you can just work your way to the terminal or drop a bomb. whatever you want to do with ease and efficiency without having to use other stratagems. I've done solo runs with jump packs and anti-material rifle. It's a good way to run away from overwhelming firepower. If there's a Hulk chasing you, you can very quickly create distance between you and the Hulk to try again. The only reason uh, I'm not putting it on the best. Um, why am I not putting it on best? Actually, I guess on its own it doesn't do anything. Like if you take it on its own without anything that actually makes it a really good combination, it is not really doing anything. But I am quite surprised how much I enjoy Jump Pack against the Automaton. Very, very slapped on stratagem, I want to say. And if you give your full team jump packs, it's quite fun what you can do with it. You can really clear maps very fast. You can split off in groups and really quickly do some side targets like groups of two split off or 2-1. You know, napalm is. I feel like it's it's outclassed. Where it would be the king against bug breaches, or you want to prevent a patrol to catch you against the Terminates. It's really good, but against Automaton, I feel like they just don't take a lot of fire damage, even with the buffs. Like it'll kill something, sure, but it won't really. Like if you throw it under a dropship, like a bot drop, it's not really doing that much unless it was just a really weak bot drop, and then you could have just as well thrown an impact grenade or anything else that would have just wiped that out. Um, is there any other situation where you would try to use this? Same with the patrols, right? The patrols, especially on higher difficulties, they will all be devastators and hulks. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Then I would much rather see cluster bombs, which can be quite good, because it will actually damage the majority of enemies outside of hulks and tanks. It kind of fills the same niche here, where but cluster bomb does much better, much quicker, uh, and you have more of them as well. So yeah, I think this gets outclassed by cluster bombs against Automaton. Again, here we are. Big surprise, maybe to some, but I think Eagle Airstrike is so versatile, both in both factions. It is to me the undisputed stratagem. It does everything. It can kill everything. It can clear objectives. It can clear fabricators. Yeah, like it is. It is great. It is amazing, and it will remain amazing. I will not talk about this uh, because I will. Gatling gun, very very inefficient against medium armor, is bad. And most things that you want to kill with it will not be killed by it and will reflect or ricochet the rounds instead. This I So orbital rail cannon. I am a huge fan of this. I think it is one of the most satisfying stratagems to use because of the auto aim, the big laser. Searches for a target, shoots it, destroys it. Absolutely love it. I think it is very strong against Automaton as it one shots hulks, cannon towers, and tanks. The cooldown is quite severe. I think it is 210 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. But I really like taking it with me, regardless, just as a way to quickly dispatch of tower cannons, especially on solo. Quickly dispatch tanks, hulks. I could see it on both. For now, I'll put it at best, but maybe it might go to strong. This is very, very strong, but it's, of course, its limited use will keep it at strong and not the best. If it would be unlimited, just as with the tournaments, it would be one of the best, if not the best stratagem in the game. It clears whole bases. It's actually really good against Automaton, as it's very easily destroys factories, because factories are so big compared to a bug hole. So especially like on blitz missions, you just throw this in a big camp and it can just completely annihilate that while you are just running to the other objective already. It is so good in clearing camps against Automaton. It destroys once again everything else. So it's good on eradicate missions, it's good on blitz missions, it's good on any mission really. It also destroys detector towers, which is something I've only recently discovered when a friend threw one for experimentation and it actually worked. So it is really, really strong. I would never be sad seeing someone with a laser. Walking barrage, good. All barrages, funnily enough, that I shit on against Terminids are much better against Automaton. For the sheer fact that fabricators and the majority of their objectives are actually above ground and are big. So are they strong? Are they good? They might. I'll put them in good. But all three of the barrages, these specific barrages, I actually was quite impressed with how well they perform against the Automaton. You can definitely throw them in the base, and there's a high likelihood the whole base is decimated. Or maybe there's like a few remnants left, but you can quickly run in, clear whatever that's still standing, loot all the supplies. Yeah, they're really, really good. I think so, at least. I'm wondering if I should put them higher, maybe even. Nah, good is good. Now, I think this might be my biggest surprise. My personal opinion, I think Airburst Orbital is I think it's Airburst. Is it called Airburst? Yeah, I think so. Is very strong. I expected this to be really bad, as when you read the description, it says it is not effective against heavy armor, and I was like, well, automatons are all heavily armored. This is going to be ass. It is not. Surprisingly, it annihilates tanks from very convenient angles. Maybe there, you saw tanks being dropped behind walls that you can't reach. You throw this, and it'll shoot right on top of them and hit the weak point, and it'll destroy them. It destroys everything outside of hulks pretty consistently, honestly. If this would destroy buildings, that might be actually insane. But it doesn't. Especially, no, yeah, it's really good. I am so surprised. And if you don't believe me, please take it with you and try it. It's so good. Especially, against drops. If you want something that's good when the bot drops are happening, you do have to time it right, because if you throw it too early, it'll shoot on the drop ship, which will do nothing. But if you find the nice timing where the dropship starts to leave and the bots are still standing, this thing decimates groups. Even tanks. Like, they all fall for the power of the airburst. Alright, Spear. Spear is still outclassed by recoilless rifle, which is good, and expendable tank, which is, in my opinion, still one of the best things in the game against both Terminids and Automaton. Yeah, like these two, Eagle Airstrike, eat it. You can never go wrong. One shot to the Hulk, two shots, maybe even one shot on the weak point of a tank, but definitely two shots will kill it regardless. Good. Still, railgun pre-nerf all the way back. It was absolutely insane against automatons. Now it is good though. Still, I think it is still good, but there are better options. Maybe it's even outclassed, but Yeah, is it outclass? Feels bad putting these two together because I think the spear is hot ass and this is actually good. But it is outclassed by Recoilless, by Eat It, by Xar, by a laser. So it is outclassed. This weapon. This goddamn weapon. I it is my favorite gun in the game, and I'm so happy that it is absolutely busted against the Automaton. It does everything outside of killing tanks if you can't get on their weak spots. Everything else it destroys fabricators. It can destroy the most easily. It can deal easily with objectives outside of destroying towers and stuff. If it didn't have a backpack, it would be the best thing in the game. Right? It's only balanced because it needs a backpack. Otherwise, I would be jump packing, auto cannoning every automaton mission. Imagine, can you see it? Flying around shooting autocannons. Hell yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, it can deal with the new gunships. Like 2 to 3 shots to the thrusters will kill a gunship. 2 shots to the eye of a Hulk will kill it. Phenomenal weapon. It can destroy fabricators, as I said before. Yeah, it does everything. If you have this, and then you have like the EMS and the shield, your whole team will be grateful. You can deal with everything. You can protect them. You can control it. This weapon is so good. So good. I prefer it vastly over this cannon, the Quasar, whatever. But this does not require a backpack, which in turn, of course, gives you a chance to run a shield or a jump pack. But I don't think it even needs it. The majority of missions, I use the autocannon, and it will do everything you would ever want it to do. I actually never used this on bot missions, I just realized. Well, actually, maybe black wasn't really a good color. Why am I doing this? What am I doing? Add a new row. No. Yes. Okay. We call this. Never use it. I actually never use this against bots, so I have no idea if it's good or not. That's crazy. I completely forgot about the flamethrower. The stalwart, I think, is completely outclassed by the still very respectable machine gun. The lack of armor penetration really hurts, I feel like, against Automaton. In a way that the faster reload doesn't make up for the fact that it just doesn't work against a lot of the Automaton units. Heavy machine gun, same. I'm really disappointed with this gun right now. Uh, I do have someone that likes using it, but they have also, in the meantime, completely just went back to machine gun. Which says enough to me, right? If you go from this back to this, even on the automaton missions, there needs something to be like something needs to change. I think this needs more penetration, more ammo, maybe even a backpack so you can keep firing. Like right now, it just feels like a worse machine gun. Ooh, no, I can't. But this can. So the anti-material rifle is almost an autocannon, but with the advantage you do not need a backpack. But it also doesn't have a third-person crosshair. You have to go first person if you want to have some accuracy. But especially now they buffed it. That was so crazy to me. They buffed the anti-material rifle, 30% flat more damage. So it kills the majority of enemies with ease. The automatons stand no chance. It has the same issue that it can't deal with cannons, with tanks and tower cannons, cannon towers, except on shooting on the weak points, which it then does way less damage. Autocannon can deal with those things like 3 shots, 4 shots, maybe. You will need to do many more with the anti-material rifle, but it can deal with Hulks. It can deal with everything. I've used it a ton. I love going jump pack sniper rifle and just infiltrate the whole mission on Helldive solo. I think it's a very powerful weapon, and especially a very powerful combination. Because once again, you can immediately reposition, shoot some enemies, weaken the defenses, jump away, reposition. I think these are a really strong options. And then the Patriots, unfortunately, rockets really hurt it, even with the buffs. And the machine gun isn't that great. But it is the only vehicle in the game. So I still think it's very fun to take with you. There is no other vehicle, so I can't really say it's outclassed by anything. And yeah, that's going to be about it. We went much faster this time than we did with the 30 minutes. Am I happy with this? Let's see the best. We got the Eagle Airstrike, Orbital Rail Cannon, Edit, and Auto Cannon. I feel like that's correct. I'm sure there's some people that will disagree and maybe say this needs to go up. But actually, the more I think about it, the more I want to go put it lower. So I guess that'll stay. I think this is correct. This is a point of contention. I could see it be more good than strong. Maybe I will actually move it down to good. I might actually. It is really good, but it is not the best. But honestly, like, I think this, and then you swap either one of these for this, is probably my go-to loadout. Or I will take this with me, depending on what I want to make sure that I have. So that, to me, tells me that this is pretty spot on. These, I put them in strong, but they are only strong once you have 2 or more people. Which some people might put them, like, maybe, should I put them? No, I think they are very good. Or I should put it, no, because I think this is better than this, and then this has to go down. No, this is good. I think this is good. Yeah, I might put this down, honestly. Like, it's alright, but there is no real need for it, I want to say. This might change with the changes to the slugger, but we'll see. I think it's better put here. Yeah, the barrages, recoilless, machine guns, yeah. Like also, either of these top tier ranks, the top rank, you can never go wrong. If you pick any of these, it'll always deliver value. Same with strong. With strong, the only change is that there might be certain situations where they be better than other situations. Like for example, with these two, you need to be with 2 or more people to really get value out of it. This is really, it's extremely good. It's such a powerful tool, but it does need something else, like a cannon, any other support weapon. If you just are mobile, but you don't really have a powerful weapon with you, well, maybe it could work. I've never tried it without, honestly. Good, same. It's nice, but you can't just. If you would fill your whole stratagem loadout with only these things, you might win, but it won't be as easy as if you would have one of these options above. And I think that there's a lot of turrets being outclassed, but again, it's just the nature of the beast, right? They're heavily armored, so what are these things gonna do? And this thing seems to just not work correctly. I feel. Same with this. This can't penetrate armor. Honestly, this I mean, fun niches. I'll guess I'll keep it there. I'm gonna move this then to here, as I have used it, but I haven't used it since the buffs. So maybe it's gotten better. Yeah, these are all ass. They just don't do anything because of the armor. So yeah, this is going to be about it from me for this video. Here you have my current thoughts on the tier list against automatons. Luckily, we will never have to deal with the automaton again. We have completely wiped them from the map. They are no longer in the galaxy. Yay us. Yay liberty and democracy. All that jazz. And yeah, see you around. Bye.